everyone. I'm Kendria. I need you to go like, follow, and subscribe. Soul Productions.
What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking. What's up, everyone? It's another episode of Next Level Thinking. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, helping you bring it to the next level. Today, we have a special guest by the name of
Londen Underwood.
Awesome. So, tell the audience a little bit about yourself. I see you over here. Just relax. But who is the person?
Well, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I am by day a teacher. In my business, I am a life and image coach. So I work with individuals to build their self-esteem and their self-assurance, self-awareness, be better in life.
Awesome. I like the overall kind of combination of it. So, what got you inspired into education?
Well, honestly, I didn't think I was going to be in education. My background is psychology and counseling. Just needed a job when I got here. I like working with the kids, but my main focus has been my business.
Gotcha. It kind of always kind of falls down like that. Like it just falls into your lap and you're like, oh, I plan to go this way, but life has a way of just directing you to another kind of pathway.
That is true. Very true.
So at first, what were you planning to do? And then that just transition to education?
What did I plan to do?
At first.
Or
At first, before you got thrown into education, so they kind of understand more of how it all happened.
Well, when I moved 2 years ago, when I came down here, I knew I wanted to do my business to some capacity, and try to pursue that full time. But you just have to be realistic. I didn't know anybody down here. I didn't have the support down here, so I just had to find a job that I can support myself. And it worked out because teaching has breaks. And so with those breaks, I can do a little bit more of my business and still get paid. So it was just something that I had to do because I was working overnights as a counselor at an eating disorder recovery center, and I did not like it. So I just went into education. All my friends down here are educators, so they told me it was like a good thing. And I've always wanted to work with children to a certain capacity. I just didn't think it would be in the classroom.
And then that's just pretty much how I just went from there. like the curveballs and things like that. Mm-hmm. Nice. One thing I will say is also, it's all about part of it. It's like when you start doing different things, you kind of get directed to where you should go and much more. And you said you have a passion with kids, right?
Yeah, I always want to work with children, counseling them in some type of way. So
what do you think is the biggest challenge when it comes to kids? Because, you have social media and all of that, many adversities and things. So what is going through a child's mind during this time of age that you think needs to be brought more awareness of?
I just think that now with the social media and having this picture on how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to act, I think it's very important at this age or younger to instill great self-esteem into your children, reassuring them it's okay to be exactly who they are and not be like everybody else. I think that's the most part because kids are going to follow and do what they think is hip based off of their peers. And so I just think making them aware of their individuality and owning their individuality is very important, especially when they become an adult.
A solid answer. And also, you keep saying self-esteem, and I feel like that's the core when it comes to a lot of different things, especially kids, but also adults. You feel like at times when a person is going through education and they go into adulthood, that self-esteem issue isn't addressed yet, and it can probably affect them later on in life.
Yes, I feel like if you don't have a solid confidence in yourself or not being aware who you are, it can cause a lot of trials and tribulations. Not saying that it does. I think we all need a little bit to grow from something, but just getting in certain situations can be avoidable. It's a lot of things that can be avoidable in adulthood. If you are solid within yourself and know who you are, especially getting into relationships, especially in your early 20s. That's a lot that can help if you just kind of know who you are and know the things that you really like up front and sticking to that.
Mm. And I feel like knowing who you are is like the best thing, because it's like how you were saying earlier, like peer pressure, trying to follow the trends or what's hip or like popular, you kind of get lost within the crowd. But it's very important to know like the importance of your self value and knowing who you are. So did you have any experience like that, pretty much going through school and up through college and things like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just part of my business. I don't speak on anything that I haven't experienced myself. So it took me a while to get to where I am, where I'm okay with just being me. But it started probably from a young age, not having that self-esteem or being insecure or having the fear of rejection. That those combinations of things led me to where I am now. I'm not saying that it was always and it wasn't an easy road. And some of the decisions that I made was based off of that, which could have been avoided. But it's a learning lesson. And so now that I know better, I do better, and I try to help people so they won't have to go through all of a lot of things that they don't have to do if they just know uh, you can do this and you'll be okay. You know.
Yep, and take chances on yourself. And rejection is, I think, is involve a lot of people as well, because that actually holds back from people taking action on a lot of different things. Is the fear of rejection or the fear of what other people may think and much more. So it goes really deep into that. Does a person overcome rejection or the fear of it? Because I mean, I'm gonna bring a little Christian foundation, because they say, not to make it all about that, God doesn't give you the spirit of fear, but a lot of times fear is what prevents a lot of people of it. So how can you and how do you overcome fear, and what can you say to others?
How do I overcome fear? Sometimes I don't, and that's just because of what I've accustomed myself to. But at this point in time, it's just like you just have to do it. Being aware of what you really are called to do and what your purpose is, that you don't have any other choice but to do it. For me, when I don't do what I'm supposed to do because out of fear, I feel more down that I did not do what I was, what the plan was, rather than doing it and not having the support from other people. Also, then I'm more aware of myself. Like, I know that this is good. I know that can touch somebody, even if it's one person. So it's just like knowing the gifts that I have and knowing that it can impact somebody. And if it doesn't impact someone, just by me working on it, it can impact me. So that's kind of how I go about it these days.
Yeah, just like the commercial of Nike, just do it. Because one thing is to be standing still and like not doing anything out, but always confronting your fears makes you move so much more further than just
Yeah.
pretty much happen as it is.
Yeah.
So you have a fear of like speaking on stage. Now I'll just kind of be sarcastic about that, but I'm pretty sure you're speaking to the audience with what you're doing, especially when it comes to self-esteem.
Yeah, I get stage fright. I don't like to talk in front of people, which is weird when I
That's
had
like
the
the
vision
biggest fear for a lot
what
of
I was supposed to do. I was like, what? Because I didn't like being in front of people. I'm more of a background person. That's why, like, when I first started my business, it wasn't always the coaching and self-esteem. I just did wardrobe styling. So, like, you will see my work, but it will be under other people. I didn't really like the forefront. So when I saw the vision of what I was supposed to do and I saw public speaking out there, I was just like, ugh, how am I supposed to do this?
good.
But I think because I am talking on something that I really know, that I'm comfortable with, that I've learned it's easier to talk about, because I just come from a real place and it's just like having a conversation. So I might start off nervous, but um, as it goes on, I get more comfortable with being up there because I know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah. And then you speak your truth. I mean, that's the easiest thing. I mean, you can't fake being yourself, because
no,
I
not
like
at all. Mhm.
Because it's going to come out. When it comes out, then you can pretty much fully be yourself, energy and all that. And people can really tell that you're really authentic or feel what you say. Because there's nothing worse than someone saying something. You're looking at them like, did you really mean that? Because I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I hope people don't think that I'm coming from my. I've been in those situations like, yeah, I don't believe you.
Yeah,
So,
because they haven't really like lived through it and things like that. So tell a little bit more about your business. I know we kind of bring in like the overall like who you are, but like go in more depth and detail of what you do.
so yeah, it's a couple of things under the umbrella of Emerald Rising. That's my business name. I do life coaching services as well as workshops. The one of the workshops that I have is the Rose Workshop, where I work with women in transition that can be coming out of a domestic violence situation, drug abuse, homelessness. And then we do like a 6-week intense program where we're just touching on different topics just so they can live like after this transition, just how to maintain the transition. Is the first step to get out, but the hard part is maintaining it once you don't have that support of the transitional homes and stuff like that. So we work on that program, and then I always end it with a makeover,
Okay.
because I always put styling in it. So they'll have like a makeover photo shoot because I'm a visual person. So I like to show people where they came from to where they are now. And so it's always a before and after makeover. I also do makeovers. That's what I like to do. And then I'm going to get into more hosting events. So
It's pretty much package the whole transformation too. It's like you pretty much start with the mind, the soul, and things like that, and then you give them the whole whew, and then people are like, is that the same person? Like,
yeah.
yeah, which makes sense since you like this style and things like that. But I want to go a little bit more deeper. When it comes to, and I feel like this will be refreshing to a lot of people, especially ladies. Let's see. Do you feel like a lot of women at times kind of hold certain things that they shouldn't, and it just builds up within a lot, and then it just either makes them do certain choices, and then on top of that, the importance of having a group or a mentor or something like that to help express yourself, so you won't kind of like, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, I can speak for myself. I've always been the person to be like, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay."
Like rest
I
it out.
didn't want people to worry about me. I didn't want people. I didn't want to ever seem like I was weak. I have a very strong personality, so for me to speak up to say, "Hey, something's wrong with me," it was kind of foreign to me. But the more I held in, the feelings that I held in from certain situations that I've experienced, it came out in other ways that I feel like is self-damaging to myself. So yeah, I released whatever that trauma or whatever I felt in other harmful ways. So it's kind of more of a self-harm. Um, and that I did for myself internally by holding in things that has happened to me. So, yeah, it may seem easier to keep everything in at first, but it comes out some type of way, and then most of every time it comes out, it's worse than probably what you have experienced.
Okay, and then top it off like the importance of having like a small inner circle or just at least someone you can talk to.
I think it is important to have the right people that you can talk to, and that doesn't come easily. Like you may have a group of friends that you just know that's your best friend, but sometimes you can't talk to everybody about everything because they won't understand. So it's always good to find that person that can that's gonna hold you accountable, that's not gonna judge you, not gonna put their put what they would do in there, but just kind of let you be, but holding you accountable at the same time. Um, and it's just going to be there because sometimes people don't want to hear the hard stuff and they just like to be around you when it's fun and when it's enjoyable for them. So and it's okay. I have certain friends for certain things. I don't talk to everybody about my issues and my whatever I'm going through. I can only talk to certain people because when you start to talk to somebody and that person doesn't have the capacity to hear what you have to say, you might feel a form of rejection that makes you go back into your shell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just very important to find that right person that you can talk to, just to protect yourself, really and truly. So it's important, but it's not important to have a lot of people that you can talk to.
Yeah, because you last seen one had all kind of gossip going around, things like that. So, spot on for that. You got to have the right people or the person or whoever you feel most comfortable so you can express how you feel and who won't judge you and things like that, because this makes the situation worse. So, right on to that. I want to go a little bit even more deeper too. I feel like this is a topic that's bringing a little bit more awareness, but I feel like there needs to be a more push to it. And that goes in towards, I guess you can say, domestic violence. And the reason why I want to ask you this question is because I feel like we all like to have like the romantic kind of thing, perfect relationship and things like that. But at times there's a situation that goes inside that nobody don't know about, that when the person goes through it, they face a lot of trauma and they may, react differently or to cause harm to themselves and things like that. So speak on, I guess, trying to put it like this: what to do if you feel like a person's what the person should do if they're in that situation, and how to get out. Because I feel like that is like a topic that needs to be brought more attention to more often.
I think, that's a loaded question, because at the same time, a person has to be ready to get out the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds sucky, but they have to be ready to get out the situation. Sometimes you don't even know that you're in a domestic violence situation. Of course, if somebody is hitting you and stuff like that, yes. But sometimes most of it could be just mental, emotionally, and you don't know. So I think for me, I can just go off of how I feel about the situation. And that's where that self-awareness comes from. Just pay attention to how you are different in the situation. If you don't know that you're in that situation, or you just feeling a little different, just say, I'm not myself. If you're feeling scared to go out and do things with your friends, or you feel control, or you feel like you always have to be under this person, or this person is making you feel guilty about wanting to do things that you want to do, then you got to check yourself and say, this isn't right. For me, I can't really speak on like when to leave. I feel like everybody's situation is different. Of course, if somebody's beating you or hitting you and all that kind of stuff, you should leave immediately. But what people don't understand is that emotional tie that's there is so strong. It just, the situation, it just kind of happens when it happens when you leave. I don't condone anybody staying with anybody that's hitting them or anything like that, but it's when that person's ready. I know it's a lot of times it's hard for people to leave, and I understand why it's hard for people to leave. So it's just being aware of yourself, being safe. And that's when, like, if you don't feel safe, or you feel like you're not yourself, you're uneasy all the time, you are isolating yourself, then you might need to go get some help.
Awesome. Now, I know that was a loaded question, but you handled it so well. So I'm glad you did. But I'm glad that you did talk about all that. And then, of course, one thing I hear, it's like we all hear from our friends that especially care about, is like, you're not acting yourself. The fact that you brought it up while you were explaining that, that pretty much, verified all of that. So very well done on that. And I'm for sure that's going to like help a lot of women out there, not only just women, but men as well, because it goes both ways. So that's why I want to like bring that up. So very good job. So other than that, like, what are some future things you got coming up, so the audience can know to follow you and support you along the way?
Some things I have coming up. I am doing a spring swap event, and that's just like a clothing swapping event / an empowerment event for women. That would be April 4th. All the information will be on my social media when I start marketing. That's coming up. I'm just doing a lot of networking and just trying to build out here. I don't really have too many things concrete, but I'm working on some writings and stuff to start posting those things from my website, and hopefully an ebook will come from that. So
It
that's
will.
been.
I gotta challenge you on that. It will. There's power in words.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, what is your social media? And then we're gonna wrap things up.
On my social media, Facebook is Emerald Rising LLC. Instagram, it is Emerald Rising LLC as well. And my website is www.emeraldrisingllc.com.
Awesome. Now I'm gonna put you on the spotlight one more time and leave the audience with a closing statement.
People do that to me because I don't know.
Hey, you got it. Go ahead.
I don't know. That is, you did put me on the side. I don't have a closing statement. This year for me, my business is choose freedom. So just be free from everything that's going on inside of you that is not pleasing into your vision and your purpose. Break free from it so we can live a life of pure freedom.
And you sat in there to say you didn't have no closing statement. I just had to push it out.
Out of my head.
That's how it comes out, though. So with all that said, I'm pretty sure we all got some great information and valuable juice from this. You know, as your host, Chris Holmes, does always bring you great inspirational guests to help you bring it to the next level. And of course, my special guest is by the name of
Londen Underwood.
Awesome. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. It's of course going to be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, and much more, because we want to keep you motivated throughout the day, your rest of your career, and help you make sure you take it to the next level. So make sure you stay inspired, never quit, never give up, because your dreams are coming soon. Peace and much love.